Hey everybody, welcome to the SimHanger. My name's Mark. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get started. And this is my report back on the new motors and gearboxes in the DOF H3 motion platform. Firstly, a quick word from this video sponsor. The most expensive component in your VR headset are your lenses. Protect your lenses and your eyes with lens inserts. VR Wave can make lenses to your prescription, or maybe you don't wear glasses but want to protect your lenses. Then look to get blue light and anti-glare filter. This will reduce stress on your eyes, reduce the chance of motion sickness, means you can stay longer in VR. VR Wave produce lenses for most VR headsets, link in the notes below. If you followed my channel for any length of time, you'll be aware that earlier this year, in June, I was at FS Expo in Las Vegas, and there I had the opportunity to meet up with Igor from DOF Reality, and with the help from Mark from YouTube channel Get Your Game On, I'll leave links to both of those in the notes below. I was able to test out the H3 motion platform featuring the new motors and reduction gearbox, designed to get rid of that stepping and cogging effect that flight simmers would feel when making small adjustments to both pitch and roll. Now this is an optional upgrade, and if you're not up to speed, then check out this video where I discuss and interview Igor, as well as reveal prices, delivery and process if you wanted to upgrade your motors and so on. To say I was impressed is perhaps an understatement.
What'd you think?
I'm stunned at the improvement. Now, I've said on my channel a number of times in the past that small cogging or stepping effect that you felt when making minor adjustments in both pitch and roll really wasn't an issue for me. But that was until I tried the H3 at FS Expo, and really it was a transformative experience. Suddenly you felt like you were in a much more expensive, a much more realistic simulator. So I plumbed for two of the new motors. Although I've got the H3, I've never experienced any cogging or stepping in the yaw axis at all, only in the pitch and roll. So I plumbed for the two motors. I've now fitted those, and over the last couple of days I've been testing them. And what can I say? But oh my God, it is transformative. Suddenly you feel like you're in a new motion platform altogether, or at least that's my personal opinion. Let's now jump in and see just exactly what's involved. As shown on this channel previously, and for the sake of clarity, my H3 had the SFU with the electronic brakes. As far as I'm aware, reflects the most common configuration out there at the moment. Let's now have a look at my system with the new motors and gearbox installed. If you haven't watched my previous videos or not up to speed on this, the problem basically stemmed from the fact that the torque of the motor would not allow it to make small enough adjustments in the pitch and roll axes. The new motors with the 3-to-1 reduction gearbox has resolved that problem, and subsequently small movements on both the pitch and roll axis are correctly calibrated. In a nutshell, it's capable of finer movement. And as it's using a gearbox, it hasn't impacted on the range or the speed of the overall movement of the various axes. It's the best of both worlds, if you like. I do want to mention at this juncture that this doesn't really apply to those that are into racing, rally driving and that type of thing. Because movement is far more rugged and much faster, you're not really feeling any tiny changes in terms of pitch or roll. And the amount of road feedback that you're getting is far more frequent than what it would be under normal flying conditions. Also worth mentioning that anybody ordering a DOF motion platform for flight or helicopter use will now by default get the new motors with the reduction gearbox. So this solution really is aimed at those that have already invested in a motion platform from DOF Reality. The two motors that I ordered took about 5 to 6 weeks to arrive. They were suitably packed to prevent damage. DOF Reality on their website have a fairly detailed instruction video taking you through the various steps necessary to exchange the motors. As I was only changing the two front motors, it wasn't necessary for me to completely disassemble my unit, which was somewhat of a relief and certainly shortened the time period required to carry out this exchange. Whilst one person can certainly do it, I do recommend two people do it. The easiest way was to move the bracket or cradle holding the motors and swap out the old motors for new. Then a matter of reinstalling the bracket with the motors attached. The trickiest part, arguably, is lining up the SFUs with the shafts. This part is certainly more helpful if there's two of you, but once again, that's detailed in the video. Depending on the amount of disassembly required, it's not a quick job, but it's a relatively easy job to complete. Once you've installed the new motors, you'll then have to download a new copy of DOF Reality Tools. For most of us, it will include a firmware upgrade to accommodate the new motors, and you're done. Please note that the model number that I'm showing here may well be different to yours, depending on your DOF configuration. Now, in my instance, this process was not seamless, and a number of config changes were required, but I do acknowledge I'm one of the very early adopters. Problems were sorted out within sort of 24 hours, and I was back up and running. So guys, in summary, what can we say? Well, DOF Reality have delivered on a workable solution to completely eliminate the stepping or cogging effect. Whether you're making a tiny adjustment in pitch or roll, that cogging effect is no longer there. Now, I am aware that they are offering a $100 rebate off the cost of new motors if you send the motors back to them. The only comment I would make is just check on the shipping costs of sending those motors back before you do so, because it may well not really be economically viable for you to do so, depending, of course, where in the world you are. So just something worth checking out. I'm also aware from a delivery point of view, delivery on the new motors is being steadily extended. Demand has way outstripped supply. I know they've got a lot more on order, but currently I'm aware that delivery on the motors are probably realistically anything between 6 and 10 weeks. Demand has been much higher than DOF expected them to be, even though I did warn them. So just be aware of that. If placing an order, there is an extended delivery at this time. And caution on the cost of returning motors. I'm not saying don't do it, just simply check it out before you do. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this useful and informative. Stay well, look after yourselves. I'll see you all again very soon. And ciao for now.